When I installed security cameras in my home, I didn't discover my wife's affair. I discovered her plan to steal my company. This story isn't just about cheating or money hunger. This is about discovering who the person closest to us really is, how trust becomes a weapon, and how sometimes the biggest betrayals come from the people we love most. My name is David Mitchell. I'm 42 years old and owner of the digital marketing company I founded 12 years ago. I feel compelled to tell this story because I don't want others to fall into the same trap. Everything started 3 months ago. That Wednesday evening, I had come home tired and collapsed into the armchair. Sarah, my wife, was preparing dinner in the kitchen. She looked beautiful as always, her blonde hair flowing over her shoulders, wearing her favorite blue dress. In our 8-year marriage, I always remembered coming home to this scene. "How was your day?" she asked without turning around. "Good," I said, but actually it wasn't good. Lately, strange things were happening at the company. Employees were experiencing tension. Customers were complaining about some issues. Something was going wrong, but I couldn't put my finger on what. "David, I want to tell you something," Sarah said while setting the table. My heart stopped for a moment. "We should install a security system in our home," she said. I was surprised. "Why?" "I know, but neighbor Jennifer's house was broken into last week. I don't feel comfortable when I'm home alone." It seemed logical. Sarah spent most days at home. She was a freelance graphic designer, worked from home. "Okay," I said. "We'll look into it this weekend." But something strange happened that evening. Sarah had forgotten her phone on the charger. I picked it up. Normally, I don't look at my wife's phone, but a message appeared on the screen. "Meet at the office tomorrow at 2. We'll discuss the plan." "Ir." Who was this R? When Sarah came out of the shower, I handed her the phone. "You have a message." When she looked at the phone and saw the message, for a moment, just a moment, I saw an expression on her face. Panic. Fear. But it was so quick I couldn't be sure. "Oh, my client Rachel," she said casually. "We're going to discuss a new project." But something was wrong. Sarah never met with clients at the office. She always worked from home, had meetings online. That night I couldn't sleep. The R message kept spinning in my head. And that facial expression. Why had Sarah looked panicked? The next day I couldn't concentrate at the office. My assistant Lisa noticed. "David, are you okay? You seem very distracted today." "I'm fine, Lisa. Just tired." But I wasn't. That facial expression of Sarah's kept spinning in my head. When I got home that evening, Sarah wasn't there. She had left a note on the table. "Meeting with client ran long. Heat up dinner. I love you, Minus S." Reading that note, a strange feeling came over me. Sarah always wrote "love you." "I love you" seemed too formal. I told myself, "You're being paranoid, David." But still I couldn't relax. That weekend I researched security systems. Sarah was insisting. She wanted a system that would protect both our home and my office. "Your office too?" I asked. "Of course. The company has valuable information there. It needs to be protected." She was right. Customer data, strategy documents, financial records, everything was there. I called TechGuard Security. They were offering a package system for both home and office. They came for installation on Monday. The technician was very professional. "This system records in 4K quality," he said. "It also records audio. You can watch everything from your phone." Sarah was with us during the installation. She kept asking questions. "Where are the recordings stored? Who can access them? Does it record continuously?" "Don't worry," I said, "it's just for security." But Sarah's getting into so much detail seemed odd. The first night after the system was installed, I tested the app on my phone. The home cameras worked perfectly, the office ones too. Sarah was lying next to me. She seemed to be sleeping, but her breathing rhythm was fast, a sign of tension. The next day, I tried to act normal at the office, but questions kept spinning in my head. Why was Sarah so worried? Why did she keep asking technical details? During lunch break, I took out my phone and opened the security app. I checked the home cameras. Sarah was working with her laptop in the living room. Normal. Then I looked at the office cameras. My office was empty, of course. I was there. Employees were too. But I saw something on the waiting room camera. Sarah was sitting in my office waiting room. My heart stopped. Sarah had told me she was going to meet with a client. But what was she doing in my office? I immediately ran to reception. "Jenny, did my wife come?" "Yes, David, she came half an hour ago. She said she was waiting for you, but she hadn't informed me." I went to the waiting room. Sarah was sitting there with her laptop. "Sarah, what are you doing here?" She looked up. Her face was flushed. "Oh, David, I was going to call you. Something happened to my internet at home. I came here to work. Why didn't you let me know?" At first it seemed normal, just keyboard sounds. But then, Sarah started talking on the phone. "Yes, I got the numbers. David's company's financial situation is very good. Last year it made $2.8 million profit. Who was she talking to? Yes, the shares are 50-50. We've been married for 8 years. In divorce, I'll get half. Ice froze in my veins. No, he doesn't suspect. David is very naive. I can get as much information as I want here. She hung up, then continued working on her laptop. I pressed play. Sarah was copying the company's financial documents, customer lists, earnings reports, bank account information. She was stealing everything. At that moment, I understood. Sarah's insistence on installing a security system, excuses for working at the office. Everything was part of the plan. She was gathering information to steal my company. But why? I continued the recordings. Sarah made other phone calls. Ryan, tomorrow evening David comes home late. We can talk then. Ryan, the R from the messages. Before filing for divorce, I need to get all the information. I also need to find the accounts David is hiding. My whole body was shaking. Sarah wasn't just cheating on me. She was trying to take over my company. But who was this Ryan? And how long had this been planned? I spent the rest of that day like a robot. When I got home that evening, Sarah acted as usual, smiling, loving, the perfect wife. But now I knew the truth. How was your day? She asked. Good, I said. What did you do today? I worked at home. New project, very busy. A lie. She had been stealing from me in my office all day. That night when we went to bed, Sarah snuggled into my arms. I love you, David, she said. I love you too, I said. But my heart was bleeding. This woman was my wife of 8 years, the person I trusted, and at the same time the enemy trying to destroy me. The next day I called my lawyer, James Wellington. James, we need to meet urgently. What happened, David? Your voice sounds very tense. I can't talk on the phone. I'm coming to your office. In James's office, I told him everything. I showed him the security recordings. This is very serious, David, he said. Sarah has collected very detailed information about the company. This would be very effective in family court. So what do we do now? First, we need to collect more evidence. We need to find out who this Ryan is, and we need to understand Sarah's full plan. For the next week, I watched Sarah's every move. Every day she came to the office with different excuses. Internet problem, customer call, quiet work environment. And every time she accessed the company's documents. Thursday, I made the big discovery. Sarah had forgotten her laptop at home and came to the office in a hurry. While she was talking on the phone in the waiting room, I heard clearly in the recording, Ryan, Mitchell Digital Marketing is worth at least $15 million. David also has secret accounts. When I file for divorce, I'll take half. Okay, baby. You collect the information. I'll also meet with the lawyer. David won't know what hit him. Baby, Sarah wasn't just doing business with this Ryan. They had a relationship. David is so naive. We've been married for 8 years. He doesn't suspect anything. I had the security system installed. Isn't that ironic? They were both laughing. That evening when I got home, Sarah was cooking in the kitchen, smiling as usual. Hello, honey. How was your day? Good, I said. What did you do? I worked at home. Very productive day. A lie. She had been researching me and making plans to take over my company all day. Sarah, I said, I want to ask you something. Sure. What is it? Are you happy in our marriage? She hesitated for a moment. Of course I'm happy, David. Why are you asking? Just curious. That night while Sarah slept in my arms, I kept looking at her. 8 years. We had spent 8 years together, slept in the same bed, shared the same dreams, and she was trying to destroy me. In the following days, I prepared my plan. James and I would proceed step by step. David, the information Sarah collected is really dangerous, James said, but we're also collecting evidence against her. The security recordings will be very effective in court. Did you investigate this, Ryan? Yes. Ryan Cooper, lawyer specializing in divorce cases. Sarah's relationship with him isn't just emotional, it's professional. Everything was becoming clear. Sarah's cheating on me was just the beginning. The real plan was to take over the company. Monday morning, I made Sarah a special offer. Sarah, let's go out this weekend. A romantic vacation. Just the two of us. I saw panic in her eyes. This weekend. But I have so much work. Work can wait. Our marriage is more important. David, I'm really very busy. Maybe next week. No, Sarah. This weekend. I've already made reservations. That evening, I listened to Sarah's conversation with Ryan in the recordings. Ryan, David is trying to take me on vacation. What should I do? Go. We don't want him to get suspicious. I'll make the final preparations during this time. Okay, but when we get back, everything should be ready. I can't stand waiting anymore. She couldn't stand waiting. She couldn't stand ending our 8-year marriage, taking over my company. I canceled the vacation plan because I was preparing a much bigger surprise for Sarah. Wednesday, Sarah came to the office as usual. with the excuse of my internet is running slow. But this time I was ready. James and I went to the office. Sarah was working with her laptop in the waiting room. "Sarah," I said, entering through the door. She looked up. When she saw James, her face changed. "David, James, what's happening?" "You know very well what's happening, Sarah." She tried to close her laptop, but James was faster. "Mrs. Mitchell, we're confiscating this device. The data inside will be used in court proceedings." Sarah's face went white as chalk. "What court proceedings?" James handed her a file. "Fraud, corporate espionage, and breach of marriage contract lawsuit." "David," Sarah said with a trembling voice. "What does this mean?" "It means I know about your relationship with Ryan Cooper. I know about your plan to take over my company, and I know that I've been recording your every move for 3 months." She collapsed, literally collapsed. "David, I heard everything from the security cameras, every phone conversation, every plan." James took out another document. "This is the divorce case, Mrs. Mitchell. Mr. Mitchell is requesting unilateral divorce based on the fidelity clause in the marriage contract." "Unilateral divorce?" "Yes," I said. "Our contract is clear. In case of infidelity, no property division. You won't get anything." Sarah started crying. "David, please, I made a mistake." "A mistake?" My voice came out very calm. "Cheating on me for 8 months is a mistake. Spying on my company is a mistake. Stealing my financial information is a mistake. I love you, David." "No, Sarah. You love money." That day, Sarah left the house. She took her things, never came back. After her relationship with Ryan Cooper ended, when it was revealed that Ryan was married, she moved to another city. The divorce process took 3 months. Thanks to the security recordings, Sarah got nothing. Now I've been alone for 6 months. My company has grown even more. My employees are happier now because the tension Sarah created is gone. Sometimes I think about that evening when Sarah was in my arms saying, "I love you, David." At that moment, she was planning how to destroy me. Installing security cameras was Sarah's idea. Ironic, isn't it? She prepared her own end. Now I'm alone in my house, but I'm comfortable because I'm no longer living with someone who loves me, but with someone who loves my money. When I installed security cameras in my home, I didn't discover my wife's affair. I discovered her plan to steal my company. And sometimes the biggest security might be not trusting,